Not even the Imperial branch of the Navy is safe against the Emperor's watchdogs. An Exaction squad has been dispatched to arrest a sergeant at arms for unknown crimes. The Navy is a tight outfit, and the sergeant's squad believes he is innocent from whatever crime he is accused of. The team of breachers prepare to defend him from whatever corrupt motive some bureaucrat may have to falsely accuse him.
Alright, welcome back to Kill Team, presented by Miniature Game Montage. This episode will feature 2 new kill teams for us, so do bear with us. I've spent the better part of a day trying to memorize rules so I can know what I'm doing and try to teach my son what he can do. We'll do our best, but if you see anything, just let us know. I'll try to pin a comment with any corrections. Let's take a look at the Breachers kill team. They are led by a sergeant-at-arms with heirloom pistol and power weapon. They have 2 gunners, one with a Melta and one with a plasma. They have a Void Jammer, Geist Skull, Surveyor with a Cat unit, an Endurant Grenadier, Axe Jack, Hatch Cutter, and Armsman. Over for the Adeptus Arbites, the Exaction squad is led by a Proctor Exactant. Operatives include a Medic Gunner with a Weber, a Gunner with a Heavy Stubber, a Leashmaster with a Cyber Mastiff, Marksman, Malacator, Castigator, Vox Signifier, and Revelatum. Where do they get these names? Today we're going to play Compile Intel, and 3 objectives will dot the map. Operatives will be able to do an action to compile intel on an objective marker they control. This can't be done in the first turning point, or if they are currently engaged, or if the objective marker has already been tapped that turn. In each turn after the first, objectives can be picked up if they have at least 1 intel point. If done, the objective can't gain any more intel points. For each objective friendly operatives control at the end of the game, you score VP for the intel points each marker has. For equipment, the Breachers did combat stems, mines, ladders, and light barricades. The Arbites select special issue shells, strobing phosphorus lumen, ladders, and light barricades. For TAC Ops, the Breachers select Contain, and the Arbites select Champion. We hope you enjoy this game of Kill Team. With forces deployed, we are ready for turn 1. And I was told the deployment was forward in this one. In fact, it is not. It's only 3 inches from the table side. You can leave your dislikes down below. The Arbites kick things off, moving their gunner with a stubber to the vantage point, dashing him into cover. Navy Breachers activate the Cat unit, sending it forward. It then illuminates the Arbites Leashmaster with a spot action. With the Leashmaster spotted, he is going to move and dash into cover out of line of sight from the Cat unit. The Breachers activate their Endurant, sending him forward with a move and a dash, staying concealed in light cover. The Cyber Mastiff activates next, following his master with a move and a dash into cover. Moves continue to be exchanged as the Breachers send their Plasma Gunner forward. The Malacator moves forward for the Arbites. The Grenadier elects to move forward and dash to the objective. The Arbites send their Marksman to a vantage point. The Geist Skull is going to move forward, staying concealed, moving up behind the Endurant. And this is where things open up as the Revelatum moves forward, switching to an engage order. He's going to fire at the Geist Skull. He fires with a scope shot pistol, short range, needing 3s. He does land 1 hit. The save roll is going to be no good, so it will be 3 damage. The Geist Skull goes down to 2 wounds as we flip back to the Navy Breachers, and an engage order is going to be flipped up for the gunner with a Melta as he moves forward, looking to take a shot at the Revelatum. He fires, needing 4s, hits twice, and piercing 2 reduces his defense down to 1. That will be enough to take the Revelatum off the board. Seeing a fellow man go down, the Proctor Exactant is going to activate next, moving forward and dropping his Aquila. He also switches to engage. He has a shot pistol, has the Melta within 8 inches, and fires. He does get 2 hits. We do retain 1 for cover. The saves are failed, and 3 damage goes on to the Melta gun. With fire being exchanged on the Breachers' left flank, back over on their right, one of their armsmen is going to move forward and dash up to a vantage point. The Arbites flip their medic to an engage order as he does have line of sight to fire at the melt-a-gun. The shot is long range, so 5s are needed and they all miss. Over for the Breachers, the Void Jammer activates and he moves forward and dashes into concealment. The Arbites then send their Castigator forward, remaining concealed in light cover. The Hatch Cutter activates next. He moves forward and then punches a hole into the terrain. The Exaction squad then activates their gunner with a Weber, a deadly weapon. As he moves forward, he's going to target the melt-a-gun. He fires needing 3s, hitting 3 times and using a CP reroll to get a 4th. And saving all of the normal saves, the critical is 5 damage. It's still enough to take him off the board. And a devastating shot from the Weber. Up next, we have the Sergeant-at-Arms moving forward, staying concealed. The Arbites reposition their Vox signifier, staying concealed, as the Navy sends forward the Axeman. With a counteract, the Arbites are going to reposition their leader out of line of sight. The Breachers then send their survey forward as he flips to an engage order. He has identified an open shot on the Castigator here, hits twice, but the saves are successful. And a very heated turn 1, we saw the Revelatum come up, put some shots into the Guy Skull, unable to take it down. Breachers responded by sending their Melta forward to take the Revelatum down, but a great shot from the Weber takes down the Melta. We gear up for turn 2. And in turn 2, the defense order is changed to an attack order. We see Dispense Justice played for a CP. The Endurant has been marked, and the Castigator has been declared the champion. Looks like the Arbites want to get into close combat this turn, but the Plasma Gun is going to activate first for the Breachers and fire. He hits on 4s, re-rolling those 2s due to Ceaseless as he is near the attack marker, and he rolls 4 6s. We did miss the defensive roll, but I can tell you it wasn't 4 6s, and he's taken off the board. The Operative dashes to get out of line of sight, and plans change. The Arbites activate their Marksman next as he moves forward to the window. He does flip to an engage, firing with his mobile profile, so 3s needed to hit. He does get 3. Targeting the Guy Skull, unable to block those attacks, and it is taken off the board. Up next for the Breachers, the Grenadier activates. He flips to engage, moving forward to bring the Proctor into line of sight, and he's going to drop a demolition charge. He gets a total of 3 hits, including a critical. A CP reroll is used to no effect. The Proctor does save 1, tries to CP reroll, but can't get it done, and he's taken down. The Leashmaster activates next, uses an AP to download intel, and he will fire his shotgun using the special issue shell, so it has Saturate. He hits 3 times. There is a critical save out, but a CP reroll is not going to grant enough. The special shell's not allowing cover. That Operative's taken down. Just above that, Operative and Armsman for the Breachers is going to move and aim his shotgun down. He will be firing at long range, but he does have accuracy too. He generates a reroll for Ceaseless, being near the attack order. He's got a critical and 2 hits out there. Defense rolls coming out, retaining 1 for cover. He will save 1 more. He goes down to 6 wounds. The Exaction squad activates their Vox signifier. He gives an APL to the gunner and will pass. The Endurant, staying hidden here, downloads the intel and then picks up the objective marker. Up next, the Medic is going to move to where he can see the Grenadier, and he is going to open fire. He lands a crit and a regular hit, and the 4-up saves required. 2 of them are good. 1 will go through. The Grenadier will be left with 5 wounds. Up next, the Sergeant will activate. He is going to move and use his second action point to begin downloading intel on Objective 3. The Mallecator activates next for the Exaction squad. He is going to hit the Endurant with Verisant. The Mallecator stays concealed and moves into cover. Next, we have a reposition from the Void Jammer as he moves to the door, opening it to get line of sight to the Leashmaster, and he will open fire. He rolls 4 dice looking for 3s at short range. The Leashmaster will retain 1 for cover, block 1 more. He'll go down to 3 wounds. The Exaction Squad activates their gunner with a stubber, and he is going to elect to reposition as he cannot get line of sight to any eligible targets. Initially going to dash, but then electing to just reposition and try to get a shot on the next turn. Up next, the Hatch Cutter flips to engage, moves through the hole he punched in the terrain on the previous turn, staying in light cover. He's going to elect to fire at the Weber. His shots hit everywhere but the target. And now presenting himself as a target, the Weber elects to fire back. He hits on everything, including a critical, and we will retain 1 for cover. The target will be stunned. A CP is going to be used to try to keep the operative alive. He rolls another one off and will go down to 3 wounds. The Weber does have an extra action point. He elects to reposition and dash. Up next, the Axeman flips engage, charges forward, targets the Leashmaster with his auto pistol, uses his CP reroll here to get a crit and a regular. Retaining 1 for cover, the critical will be blocked. He goes down to 1 wound as the Cybermastiff charges into combat. Both combatants hit twice, and a critical will be done to both of them. The Cybermastiff will end up taking the Axeman out, however. The Cybermastiff goes down to 1 wound, and turn 2 comes to a close. And the Breachers do reveal the security tac op contain, and they will score a victory point from that. No enemy operatives wholly within their territory. Champion, of course, stolen away from the Exaction Squad early on in the turn. As we go to turn 3, Inviolate Jurisdiction being played by the Exaction Squad. The Endurant is marked and the champion is declared as the gunner with a stubber as he looks to fire down on the Endurant. And an abysmal shooting effort as he misses on everything. The Endurant activates next and he relocates behind cover with the objective. The Exaction gunner continues to apply the pressure, moving up the right flank and firing and hitting with everything, all 5s. The Grenadier can't stop it and becomes the 3rd operative taken out of action by the Weber. We flip back to the Breachers, and up from a vantage point, the Armsman fires down at the Cybermastiff. He does have accuracy too, so automatically getting those 2 hits, that will be enough to take the dog off the board. Up next, the Marksman fires, and he is targeting the Hatch Cutter. He will have accuracy too as well. He did need it, though, as he hits on everything, just needing 2s, and that'll be enough to eliminate this operative. With operatives falling all over the board, we go back to the Breachers, and it does look like the Void Jammer is going to activate. Still has the door open here, elects to fire at the Leashmaster. He hits twice. The Leashmaster retains 1 for cover, can't get the save even with a CP reroll, and will be taken down. The Void Jammer then uses a reposition to get out of line of sight. We move back to the Exaction Squad, and the Vox Signifier is going to pass along an APL and then elect to reposition, staying concealed. Over on the Breacher left flank, the Sergeant-at-Arms begins to compile intel on Objective 3, staying concealed. The Medic then begins his reposition up the board as they look to go and contest objectives in turn 4. The Plasma Gunner, still up on a vantage point with an attack order, is going to move and fire across the board. He's targeting the Gunner across the board and lands 4 more hits with 2 criticals. The enemy Gunner with a stubber is easily eliminated. Next up, the Mallocator is going to move and begin to compile data on Objective 1, turning this to 2. Turn 3 closes with operatives falling all over the board. The Exaction Squad missed out on Champion again due to lackluster shooting from the Gunner with a stubber, and it looks like security will be scored by the Breachers. And in turn 4, brace for counterattack played along with defensive order. With the first action, the Exaction Squad sends their medic forward, attempting to put shots into the Sergeant, and this could be a big swing here if he can take him down. And we do see 2 hits needing 3. The save roll's not that good, but defensive position has been played, and that allows him to get ceaseless, so rerolling the 1s, he turns it into 1 save. He goes down to 5 damage. The sergeant quickly downloads the intel as he's not in engagement range. He is then going to move back, staying concealed. And with not a lot of targets presenting themselves, they just simply move and dash the gunner with a Weber forward. They are really going for point denial here on the contain TAC-op. This is going to draw the attention of the plasma gunner. He's not going to be able to get both of them, but he will be able to potentially get one. He lands 3 hits with the plasma, piercing 1, unable to save it, and the gunner's taken off the board. But they aren't done yet, as the marksman elects to return fire at the plasma gunner. This time he is going to land some hits, just needing 2s. 1 save is retained for cover, the other 2 are no good. The plasma gunner finally taken down. The breachers elect to pass with their armsmen, the game pretty much in hand at this point, as data is compiled on Objective 1 and picked up by the Mallocator. The Endurant holding an objective here, he will pass as well, and then we see one of the Exaction squad send one of their operatives across the halfway line. And with that, our game of Kill Team will come to a close. The Navy Breachers are going to come away with a victory today against the Exaction squad. The Exaction squad is going to score victory points for holding that first objective, but the Navy Breachers holding Objective 2 and 3 will get points as appropriate. If the Exaction squad could have forced the Sergeant off of Objective 3, it could have been a different game, but right here we had a key miss where he just could not bring the Sergeant down. I really hope you enjoyed this presentation of Kill Team. Let us know what we got wrong down in the comments below. I'm trying to learn 2 new kill teams. It was a lot. There was a lot going on. This game took us a long time to play. Supporters Club, your names are on the screen now. Thank you so much for your support. It's by no means necessary. If you watched the video this far, you've done more than enough to support the channel. So thank you so much. We will see you in the next one. Take care.